Well, a very pleasant good evening, WNBA and women's basketball fans, and we welcome you in to the WNBA 365 Network, your comprehensive home for all things WNBA and women's basketball related, as we welcome you folks in to the network this evening. Again, bringing back another show from the network graveyard this evening. Again, we are bringing you folks back one of the original core three of shows that we did when we first came on here 3 years ago. But welcome in, folks, to the one-man show of record that is called The Guy with the Petition for the first time in quite some time. But welcome in, folks. Callum McClure joining you here from the Calamax Sports Studios here in San Diego, California. Again, folks, coming away tonight wanting to somewhat do of a mashup of a little bit of a form show, talk some hoops, but more importantly, folks, get to, again, what we put out on Twitter and on Facebook, of course, with that press release. Again, if you did not see it, we have some pretty big and significant program scheduling alerts for you folks, some that you'll like and some you may not like, perhaps during the course of the next 30 minutes to 60 minutes here on the program. With that, folks, as usual, you can get involved with the program tonight here on Facebook, on Twitter, or in the live chat box at facebook.com/WNBA365, or find us on Twitter at WNBA365 at Calamac3. Use the hashtag TGWTP. Hashtag again is TGWTP. Or, of course, you can chime in the live chat box on the right corner of your screen. First, folks, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to my dear friend Jess, again, folks, who operates the Dinah Taurasi's Bun page on Twitter. She had put out or mentioned us in a tweet about people who follow or cover WNBA and women's basketball for a couple of people that were looking for some more outlets on Twitter, and she gave us a shout out. And folks, I also want to say a big thank you as well to all the folks that, of course, that have either liked us on Facebook, followed us on Twitter. If you followed us on IG, of course, I know that we're still kind of getting that off the ground, folks. I know we've that's a whole nother story. And also for those of you that have subscribed to us on YouTube, folks, a couple of numbers for you. Our Facebook page has grown to 276 likes. In perspective, folks, that's the same number of likes that I have for my announcing Facebook fan page. So thank you for that, folks. And also for those folks on Twitter, folks, just incredible. 1,176 follows on Twitter. Thank you, folks, so much for following us and staying with us. I know that we had that long stretch of a hiatus earlier. We'll have more about that momentarily. And to the 123 people that have subscribed on YouTube, again, thank you guys very much. More so, folks, at least on the web, at least, Facebook-wise, can't say enough good things about our buddy Todd Mintz. Todd, of course, has somewhat stepped in to kind of fill in at least, writing some recaps for us. And he's been doing that lately, or has been doing that for a while, actually, to somewhat take a burden off me, because I think you folks probably forget this, with this being my idea 3 years ago. But I'm pretty much in charge of every single thing you see across the channel, from hosting all the programs to all the stuff on Twitter and Facebook, and scheduling all the shows, all the graphics. I mean, pretty much 95% of this is all my doing, and then there's Todd and Crystal that's helped out too. So again, thanks to TM for helping us out with the game recaps. To the folks on Twitter, thank you folks very, very much. Again, 1,176 Twitter followers. This year, folks, has probably been one of our better years, I think, so far on Twitter. We've been able to kind of engage, I guess, a bit more with the fans. And also major thanks, though, too, to a lot of the great media members out there who have followed us this year. Notably, we've had Rebecca Lobo follow us during the course of the season. I know that when we did have time, folks, to do our Player of the Week poll questions, Alicia Gray and the South Carolina fan base came alive during the first week. So, again, 1,176 Twitter followers. Again, thank you, folks, very, very much. And, again, we try our best to again, keep all you folks in the loop, and also to the folks that have subscribed on YouTube. Again, thank you guys very much, again, for your patrons as well. So, again, social media, folks, has played a pretty big factor, not just for me, of course, being able to interact with all you great people, but of course as well helping out with the network brand, I guess. And again, we're still trying our best, folks, to continue to climb the ladder here with our programming and with our outreach on the web. So again, thank you folks very much for making our job a heck of a lot easier here on WNBA 365. All right, folks, we'll get to the more important business right now again. Now, as you folks probably caught a couple days ago on the web, surfacing again via Facebook and Twitter again, a press release was put out, officially put out. Again, I know we have somewhat teased it. We have somewhat talked about it here, folks, in recent days, recent weeks here on the program. But again, another brief, and one more vacation period, folks, and then a pretty lengthy hiatus of programming again, folks, is going to come to fruition here. We'll get to that momentarily, folks, here this evening. But again, those are the updates we do have right now for you folks coming up. Again, it's just a couple more days here, a couple more weeks, couple more days, and a few other months of programming are going to be updated, folks. So again, some of these you'll like, some of these you'll probably be okay with, and some of them you probably will dislike, though, when we do get to this here. Momentarily. But again, folks, you can engage those still on the program tonight here on Facebook, on Twitter, or in our live chat box this evening. So if you have any anything you want to throw in or say, please, again, do so in our chat box or on the web throughout the entire portion of the program here this evening, folks. So roughly, again, folks, for the next roughly 20-plus minutes here, we'll be here this evening. So again, folks, I'm trying to actually pull up that press release we sent out a couple days ago, trying to find that for you folks. We can kind of get this party started here today on the Fab Forum, or on the Petition show, I should say, at least. I know I put out it was going to be the Forum show again, but wanting to bring back the old Petition show here again here this evening, just for the sake of humanity, I guess, bringing this program back from the ashes again. Again, we folks, when we did do the rebrand from LAS 365 into WNBA 365, again, we took a major, or someone took a major drop off of program. Again, just a lot of factors here, folks. So with that, again, folks, now we'll get to the more important stuff. So again, folks, first and foremost, again, here are the following updates regarding our programming, folks. Our final show before our vacation period, again, will be held on August 4th, and then we'll be on a break from August 5th till August 17th. Again, reason being, I'm going to be actually up in the Bay Area, up in San Francisco and Oakland, actually covering a international baseball tournament. I'll have more about that momentarily. And then, folks, after that, again, we'll still be a bit limited coming back from vacation. But again, folks, more importantly, once September 1st does hit, network programming of all types on YouTube, again, will be discontinued for a undisclosed amount of time, again, because once September 1st hit, folks, I am back into my full commitments of announcing gigs outside the network, folks. Again, that's Point Loma Nazarene University, the San Diego Gulls, and the San Diego Sockers, and whatever else is thrown my way. So again, folks, we again are going to be very, very limited in the amount of time we can come and visit with you folks and be joined by our panel here on the program. On the program once September 1 does hit. In case you folks are wondering, from September 1st until April 28th of next year is how long my announcing schedules will go. That could go over that date depending on if any teams that I do work for get in the postseason and if I'm needed to do games. So again, we'll be very, very limited in the amount of time we'll have here to join folks. So again, I'll say it once more, but if you do not see us on air for 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, do not be alarmed, folks. We're not going anywhere. But again, we have to, again, pull ourselves somewhat out of the equation again so I can go fulfill my other obligations with paying jobs and work. Folks, if you are curious, again, reason being for the vacation period, again, I'm going to San Francisco and Oakland to announce a annual international baseball tournament being held at the College of Alameda and also up in San Francisco, California. As of now, folks, those games could be streamed on my personal YouTube channel, which is the Calamax Sports YouTube channel. Again, so if you want to check into my to my broadcast, you can do so on August 7th, 8th, and 10th. We'll have 4 games for you folks on the channel, not on this channel, obviously, but on my other channel, which you can find if you visit either my website or I'll probably tweet out the link for you folks later on the Calamac3 Twitter handle. But again, that's why I'm going to be up in San Francisco. So again, we'll be off air that entire week here this evening. Or we'll be off air, I should say, from August 4th till the 17th with that. For those of you wondering again, folks, there's actually going to be no programming this week. Again, because right now I'm in the middle of getting stuff ready for this trip coming up. So again, we'll have no further programming this week. We'll be back with you folks though next week, and again, have our final show before the vacation period does start on August 4th. Now, folks, the news you may not like here, and this is something I've somewhat kept private, internal, what have you. I mean, only a couple of people or a few people know about this. But again, folks, there's a few pretty intriguing job offers or job listings that I was informed about and I applied for. And this is something, folks, that again, I've somewhat pinballed and juggled around with for a while here. Not just with these job offers, folks, but also with the demand of my schedule from September till April. Depending on what happens here, folks, and again, I told this to Shorty and Crystal and Eric and Marquez and Reagan a few months ago, folks, during the hiatus again last year. But folks, depending on what happens here again, either with these job offers or depending on my schedules, folks, but we ultimately, folks, could be discontinuing all network programming in its entirety across the board, either next year or after the season ends, folks, just depending on what happens with me. Again, something I've long dreaded or have long thought about during our last hiatus period, folks. Again, folks, you know, while it's been fun these past 3 years, again, it's just a matter though of time. Again, I say that a lot in regards to either scheduling events outside of work, folks, but again, more so, again, depending on the schedule, my outside schedule, folks. Again, this possibly, in all sadness, folks, could be the final season you'll probably see us here on the network again, due to the schedule commitments, and again, also due to job offers, folks. Reason being, these job offers would require me to move out of San Diego and go elsewhere to continue to chase my dreams, folks. So if, in fact, either the job happens or the schedule for me gets too grueling, this could potentially be the end of programming for us here on YouTube, perhaps in the very close future. Again, it's not set in stone yet, folks. Nowhere close to being set in stone about either the jobs or the schedule, but that is, though, a potential reality here, folks. Again, is possibly the end of our run here on YouTube. Possibly. Again, not saying it's going to happen, but that is a potential chance, either due to the schedule or due to, again, job offers that are, again, not in San Diego, California. So again, folks, to revisit once more, again, we will be off air all coming up in roughly about a week or so again, from August 5th till August 17th. Our final show before that vacation period, folks, again, will be on August 4th. Right next Friday, I believe. I'm terrible with dates, folks. I don't even bother or do anything. And then again, folks, once more. But again, September 1st. Again, that's a Friday, I believe, Labor Day weekend. But again, that will begin another lengthy period, folks, of hiatus, where there will be no programming on YouTube for a undisclosed amount of time, folks. And if we do have programming, folks, we're going to be very, very limited in the amount of days we'll have to come to you, folks, and the amount of time we'll probably have too. Just because I've been juggling a lot, folks. But I mean, obviously, I have been juggling a lot, but we will again be very limited for a unknown amount of time, folks, about how often we'll be able to come with you folks here and be a part of the program here this evening. So again, folks, I think I hit all the nails on the head there. So once more, again, we'll have more about this. But again, vacation August 4th to the 17th. And also, again, programming hiatus begins September 1st. And again, do not know the length or time that this program hiatus will last. But folks, that will probably put a major dent, or a hole at least, in our programming coverage of the WNBA playoffs and also of our off-season coverage too, because normally we've tried to do a work in college stuff and all that stuff. But again, depending on the schedules, folks, again, yeah, they're pretty hefty already. But again, we'll see what does come about once more. And if you folks want to check out my baseball broadcast again, that is right now still planned. That still is being planned on happening if it does go through. Again, we'll have 4 games for you folks over on the Calamac Sports YouTube channel, August 7th, 8th, and 2 games on the 10th up there in Alameda County, once more up here in Northern California. With that, folks, I think I'll probably go back and just kind of get to what I was getting at earlier again, folks. Want to, again, just send out, again, thank yous again, folks, for the likes on Facebook and our social media interaction, folks. Again, a lot of great stuff from you folks out there. Facebook up to 276 likes. Twitter, again, folks, over 1,100 people now. 1,176 and 123 subscribers over on YouTube. Again, folks, and also kind of a way I brought the Petition show back from the graveyard again to kind of just sit here and talk again, because if you were with us here on TGWTP many, many years ago, you know that me and my former co-host just kind of sat here for a long time and just talked about either off-season stuff or how far we've come, folks. And again, when the decision, folks, was made to rebrand ourselves back in late 2015 or early 2016 from LAS 365 to WNBA 365, and of course we had Eric and Reagan and Crystal and Marquez and Shorty on here. You know, again, to somewhat rebuild a bridge, I guess, to make it more of a league thing, more than a specific team thing, with some spattering of WNBA coverage. Was also for a way, though, to see if we can kind of build our brand here. And again, in 3 years, folks, of being here, I don't know if I could be more surprised, I guess, about how far we have come here on the network from February 24th of 2014 to July 26th of 2017, folks. Obviously, the hiatus again, which was a pretty big deal for me. Again, that was a 99-day break because I just had way too much going on, folks. I think that's why we have another hiatus coming up in September to kind of alleviate the pressure off me here. But again, folks, if you have followed us on Twitter, folks, again, that has grown beautifully and ballooned beautifully, again, over 1,100 people following. It just seems like, again, folks, that from 2014 on, or at least maybe in recent memory, at least, just seeing the outpouring of support, so many great people, of course, from fans and media members and players engaging more and more with us again. Notably, once more, when we were able to run our Player of the Week poll questions, which had to be discontinued, folks, again, just because of my schedule, was Alicia Gray, or Kayla Davis, I think. Kayla Davis is who it was. Kayla's dad, who works at ESPN, got involved with the poll question. A lot of the South Carolina Gamecock basketball fans got engaged, folks. So, again, I think, though, this year, at least on social media sake, folks, that the network, I think, cannot be in a better place and time right now, again, so far this season. I do, though, as well, want to, again, sincerely thank Eric Nemchok, our former analyst from FanRag Sports. Again, Eric was able to step in and help out and host the show back in October during the finals. But, of course, when I was not at home, I was in a hotel getting my house renovated here from San Diego. In San Diego, I should say, and Eric and the team did a phenomenal job. And Eric and Reagan, in case you folks were wondering, during that hiatus period, actually stepped away from the network again to kind of fulfill their own obligations. Again, Eric, of course, has been writing and doing a lot of things with FanRag Sports, and Reagan, I think, just stepped away. Again, it mixed that hiatus, folks, some minor problems too, trying to clean up our image a little bit, somewhat lately, and again. I don't think, though, folks, that in the time that we've been here, I think this is our 357th show, I think, on the network itself from day one. And I don't think, though, that I've seen more and more that it's grown so much, folks. I mean, if you've been here with us since day one, or if you're a newbie kind of coming in during the new period of time, folks, you know, reason being as well, folks. If you're a long-time 365 member or a 365 watcher or viewer, folks, if you recall about the Petition show, folks, and it was named in honor of the off-season Petition, folks. I'm sure you remember him, folks. We kind of have somewhat tried to kind of put him in the past, but I mean, I can't do it here now, folks. Happy 24th birthday to my former co-host, the man that started all, my good buddy Chris Mancy in Anaheim, folks. If you remember Chris well, he was. Him and I were on the front line when the Sparks ownership group left in 3 years ago. And, of course, this show at least was named in honor of the petition that Chris and I ran in 2014 to help keep the Sparks in Los Angeles, of course, when their ownership left. And somewhat mirroring the petition campaign, folks. If you recall best, you heard me say it 3 years ago. You heard me say it plenty of times in the early years. But again, the petition, crazy, stupid idea, folks. And I thought that this was the same exact thing. Again, this was actually, folks, a college project of mine 3 years ago. I started this network as a broadcasting college project to not only, you know, get practice, I guess, if I ever went big and went platinum or went professional and was able to announce, you know, either Sparks games or Mercury games or what have you. But again, but this was, but folks, believe it or not, this was actually a college project of mine that I started during my time in broadcasting school. And going from the two-man game of Chris and myself, we did 3 shows a night all the way up until we rebranded ourselves in 2015. Chris left in the best interest of both of us because we were kind of being held back by a few things. Then we rebranded ourselves, and then we added Shorty and Crystal and Marquez and Reagan and Eric to the mix, and we had more of a actual panel show, kind of like ESPN's Around the Horn. And it just seems like, though, folks, that from year to year, from the start, the 2015 to the rebrand to now, folks, every year we've seen growth in pretty much every major category lately, and just a lot of great things, folks. Again, that we're very thankful for here at this point in time. Our good buddy Christy Wilson says WNBA 365 is growing, and I love it. And it's people like Christy, folks, and Todd and Diana and all the other people that have written into our chat box that keep me sane here. If it's myself hosting a show solo, or if it's a panel show, or if it's Crystal and myself, or what have you, folks. Again, people in the chat box help us out big time by adding their input in, and also, again, that was also a reason why, folks, as to why I help, or why I built this network with my bare hands 3 years ago, was, again, to give people like Todd and Mike and Christy and anyone that writes into the chat box, folks, to give them a way to voice their opinions about the league and their favorite teams. Because, as we know best, folks, you won't find a WNBA talk show on ESPN, on FS1, or on local television. We have plenty of podcasts between us and David Siegel, our good buddy in Connecticut, who operates Dishin and Swishin. Eric Nimchok's working on a brand new upstart podcast with a couple of buddies his. We hope you folks can check in their podcast as well. You know, and again, trying to give the fans a voice, and again, to somewhat be here again. Obviously, I mean, I'm a fan, but of course, working in media relations, or working in media, I should say. Again, trying our best, you know, to kind of, you know, come here, try and be as professional as we can, but, you know, give you, this is the NBA TV version for the WNBA in a very small capacity. Again, I don't take a whole lot of credit for saying or being here as long as I have been lately, so we'll see what does happen. But again, to give all of you folks a chance to catch up and also get more opinions, and also I think it's what, folks, that it does not go unnoticed, though, about how well we have done. Again, I really don't take a whole lot of credit for this being as popular as it is. You know, again, this was something I threw together, you know, with a friend of mine who lived 88 miles away from me up in Anaheim, and we did this, you know, every weekday from 2014 until now, and to see the popularity, I guess. I mean, sometimes, I guess, folks, sometimes I think you have to stop and smell the roses every once in a while. And honestly, you know, I don't really take a lot of credit, or really, I don't think I've done anything that spectacular building this network by myself and with Chris as well. But I think that, folks, that these numbers, though, between Facebook likes, Twitter followers, YouTube subscribers, I don't know if they really speak volumes, folks, but that's where we stand right now, I guess, folks. But again, thanks again to all of the people. Again, 276 Facebook likes, 1,176 Twitter followers, and 123 plus YouTube subscribers here this evening. But again, folks, to reiterate once more here this evening, again, vacation period starting on August 4th. That'll be our final show before the break does hit, and we'll come back with you folks on August 18th. And again, folks, once September 1st does hit, we will be on a extended programming hiatus once more, starting Labor Day weekend on September 1st. Diana Grimm wrote to say, really thank you, young man. You are truly blessed. Keep on doing what you do best. Thank you very much, Dee, for the kind words. Again, appreciate it. And again, that's also, and also, folks, that's more rewarding, though, too, about my job, not just here on the network, but also with hockey and soccer and college sports, is going to events, working games, and having fans either send you something nice on Twitter, or they come up and shake your hand, or they want a picture with you. So, again, Dee, thanks for the kind words there here this evening. But again, folks, once more to reiterate again, obviously I do that a lot here, folks, about repeating myself. I'm Pete and repeat, folks. But again, vacation starts on August 5th, runs till August 17th. And again, program hiatus kicks in starting on September 1st. Again, just want to throw it out there again, folks, here real quick here this evening. But again, folks, also, I think it is worth noting again, folks, once more, but again, depending on situations, either with my schedule or, again, I've applied for a couple of pretty intriguing job folks that, again, that are confidential. I cannot say anything further about them, but the jobs would require me to move out of San Diego. So if, in fact, that does happen, or if the schedule or if the schedules get any more daunting, folks, we could be discontinuing our YouTube programming in its entirety. But that right now is a very, very far-fetched idea right now at this point in time. But again, folks, want to, again, fully say thanks once more to everyone who has followed, who has liked, or who has subscribed, and who has also helped out in some very small capacity for the time here this evening, and for that matter, for a long time here. But again, folks, tonight was more, again, about an update. We'll probably more about these update shows, folks, probably starting sometime on Facebook Live or on Twitter, perhaps. Well, more about that. And also, folks, I should mention too, but we are, though, or at least I am, working on some new programming content for you folks sometime soon. Working on a couple things, have a couple of storyboarded ideas in my head, but we'll have more about that, though, folks, later on. Michael Driver writes in to say, love the show. Just came back from vacation. Mr. Show in NorCal. Really enjoyed the All-Star festivities last Sunday. Hope you stay on YouTube. Yeah, Mike, again, that's a very, very far-fetched thing right now between these job offers and the schedule. But again, that is a possibility. But again, it's a very, very far-fetched thing right now at this point in time. So again, wouldn't worry about that yet unless something drastically does go wrong or does go bad, where the YouTube programming would have to stop. But again, folks, again, I'm kind of teasing you a bit. Again, we are working on some new programming, some new programs, again, to kind of, I guess, kind of get back to our old ways again about having either the 2 shows or 3 shows a night again to somewhat give you folks an idea. But folks, though, I'm going to actually somewhat up the ante. If you folks have any ideas, either for programs or what we could do to improve ourselves, folks, our Twitter direct messages, folks, are always open for you folks. If not, please hit me up on Twitter with your ideas. I'm looking to add more programs, folks, and would love to have your input on this. So please fire away in my DM, in my direct message inbox at Calamac3, please, if you have any ideas. Would love to somewhat get the program, somewhat a bit of a variety, I guess, of programming. I know we used to have that many years ago here on the network. But if you folks have any ideas, PM me on Facebook or actually, folks, scratch that. I'm getting ahead of myself here. If you follow me on Twitter, again, if you follow at Calamac3, if you have any ideas, if you have any sort of anything that pops in your head, folks, shoot me a direct message, or you can PM the network on Facebook. Send us a message on Facebook, and I'll get back to you folks when I have a chance. So if you have any ideas, any ways to improve our coverage or anything you have, send us your ideas or your thoughts. If we can improve ourselves on the network here, or if you have any ideas for shows. Again, I know I'm ping-ponging some ideas, but please, folks, fire away. Either PM us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/WNBA365, or if you follow me on Twitter, folks, at Calamac3, shoot me a direct message, and I'll, of course, write those in my notes or put them somewhere where I won't forget them anytime soon. With that, though, folks, this is and will be our lone show for the week, folks. We'll see you folks back here next week. Again, folks, one final reminder again, Vacation starting October 5th or August 5th, running till August 17th, and programming hiatus begins September 1st for an undisclosed amount of time. With that, folks, we'll see you folks sometime next week. Thanks for tuning in, and good night. This has been the WNBA 365 Network. Good night, folks, and bye-bye.